everyone. I'm Sushant Dubey, and welcome to the episode 3 of Uneecops Insight Podcast, a series where we demystify e-governance through conversations with the leaders who have built the systems shaping digital India. Some journeys in governance are about moving through roles, and some are about shaping systems, institutions, and minds across decades. सरकारी दफ्तर की फाइलों से लेकर विचारों की उड़ान तक कुछ लोग अपने पदों से नहीं, अपनी सोच से पहचाने जाते हैं. Our guest today is one such institution builder. From teaching at the University of Allahabad to serving on the ground as a district magistrate, from shaping national policy as secretary to the Government of India, to leading the Indian Institute of Public Administration as Director General. His journey brought together scholarship, field leadership, and systemic reform. An IS officer of the 1985 Odisha cadre, he is known for digitizing governance long before it became a national mission, transforming Panchayati Raj and rural development, driving MSME reforms, and during the pandemic, reimagining how India trains the civil servants in a fully digital environment. A mentor, a thinker, and a quiet architect of enduring institution. Surendra Nath Tripathi. Tripathi ji, it's a true privilege to welcome you in our podcast.
Thank you, sir.
So if you were to describe your vast journey in 2 lines in your style, what it would be?
As we were discussing earlier, that if you want to wait for opportunity to knock at your door, you have to wait life for entire life. Somebody said, ये सोच कर शायद कोई किस्मत संवार दे, ये सोच कर हम उम्र भर पत्थर बने रहे.
Wow.
I had choice to remain as a stone, studying in Allahabad, trying for some small jobs. I chose to study carefully. That was the only option that we had. And I did it rightly. And perhaps luck favored me also. And I got into civil services.
And this is which year we are talking about?
This was in 1984 exam. And
1984.
85 result.
Okay, so we will go to the long questions and other questions. But before that, short questions,
Yeah.
short answers, and if you like, in one word, one line.
Good.
One myth about e-governance you would like to bust.
We remove ego from the ego.
Okay. If not civil services, then
I could have been a teacher.
Teacher.
Teacher, yes.
one strength of the so-called Sarkari system
Outreach.
that people underestimate.
Outreach. Nobody can reach the like government. Outreach.
Outreach. Excellent. A parliament question or a system crash, what is more stressful?
In fact, none of them, but then parliament question is real
Okay.
test.
One governance reform that fundamentally changed how government works in India.
We stop looking at technology. We start looking at solutions. If you don't understand the problem, you will not find solution, and you will start blaming the technology. Technology is a tool only. You can't blame your tool. Only bad workman blames its tools. I realized it quite early, and that made the difference in my thinking and in my thought process.
Okay. So now we will come to the questions and we will start with your personal journey. So take us back to the beginning. Where did you grow up? And in one sentence, what inspired you to choose public service?
In fact, my mother used to say that, "Bhaiya hum DM dekhe na hai."
Hmm.
She is illiterate, she doesn't know what is DM. I also didn't know who is the DM. But then I had a mentor who guided me to go to Allahabad University. And that changed everything for me.
And you were in Faizabad that point of a time?
I was studying in a small school, Malipur, Motilal Vidya Mandir Inter College, Malipur.
Mm-hmm.
From there, I did up to +2 level. Then I studied at Allahabad University. But then, to be a DM or not to be a DM was not the question. But life takes you where you go.
Hmm.
Initially, I thought that getting admission in Lava University will be a good thing. Getting a hostel would be a good, better thing. And then let's see, somehow we might succeed also. But then my mentor has good faith in me, late Sri Sridhar Chaturvedi ji, who was a principal in my school.
Oh,
He trusted me that you can do anything. And he guided me. And I would like to pray that wherever he is, his soul should rest in peace.
oh, so much regard for
yeah.
such teachers and obviously
Because
our principal.
Guru makes the difference.
Yes.
And I realized it very early that Kripa Karo Gurudev ki nahi. And he was that Gurudev for me who changed my life.
Wow. So you have worked across the length and breadth of India, but every administrator is shaped somewhere. How did the place you grew up influence the way you understood people, power, or governance? Or I should say, and governance. I know this journey which you said, which moved you further towards your education, but here I'm talking about as an administrator.
You see, I was a student of political science, so I thought that public policies are made by the government.
Hmm.
And the difference between government and governance was less obvious.
Less obvious.
Less obvious. We thought that government is the governance because we underestimate the role of bureaucracy. Government is what we call it legislative, executive, and bureaucracy. But at a government level, and when I finally retired as Secretary of Parliamentary Affairs, my journey is full around both understanding the government, the elected, and governing the people and serving the people of India as a governance, being part of bureaucracy. So, and many people confuse what is government. Government is elected people's representatives sitting in parliament, both the houses or assemblies, but that is not the government. They represent the will of the people, which is executed through making of laws. But laws don't give you Aadhaar card, laws don't give you ration card. Laws only enables. The way I say that budget doesn't transfer money into my account. I have to work in institution. Institution has to get assistance from the government. Then that assistance mechanism will pay me my salary. So it is not that budget is not funding. In a long term, budget do funds you. But then the system of delivering benefit is the governance. And governments are blamed for poor governance. You must have heard that good governance or bad governance is not government at all. We realize that governance could improve if we use a little bit of technology, but if we also remove the ego part of the government, as I was telling earlier. Because siloization is not inbuilt, it is not God-given. It's not that bureaucracy is created by some almighty that you can't change the rule. We do believe that constitution is that thing that guides us. But people, process and technology, they are given. And I do believe that it's the culture that makes the difference. And this culture cannot be transported. It has to be learned. Learned experience makes you change your behavior. So first, you change yourself, understand the government and governance. And then within a government servant, you realize your limitation and you realize your unlimited potential also. Because a law is made, how it will be implemented, how rules are made, how rules can become a guideline can become a scheme get funded and find out beneficiary, and then ultimately beneficiary gets benefit. A lot of processes go. And for these processes are what we call it Mayajal, this is created by bureaucracy. So bureaucracy is not liberalized, it is not responsive, it is not helpful, or it's not having happy to help attitude. Any form of government, we can make it fail. And even bad government, we can make it succeed if you have good bureaucrat. I'm not saying like me, but many people like.
So being humble is the key. Yeah. And understand before you get understood.
Rightly. If I don't understand, I can't explain it to you.
Correct.
And if I understand, I can explain to anyone. Because in the system, most of our time is lost in selling a public policy. Whereas we should be doing our extra effort in implementing the public policy. As you must have heard, some people say that a government public policy has to pass through many tests. Not only Parliament passes a law like crime control or Narega or G Ramji, many more acts are passed. But when they go to the beneficiary, they have to pass through many things.
I will stop you because I'll come to those things specifically, but यहाँ मैं सिर्फ आपके बारे में अभी बात कर रहा हूँ. तो एकेडमिकली आपने अपना ग्रेजुएशन किया इलाहाबाद यूनिवर्सिटी से, पोस्ट ग्रेजुएशन भी वहीं से किया।
Yeah.
फिर आपने यूपीएससी का एग्जाम दिया 84 में, लाइक यू आर सेइंग, तो आपने सिविल सर्विसेज की पढ़ाई करी। वो एजुकेशन का कौन सा पार्ट है जो आपको लगता है कि दैट रियली स्टेड विद यू, विच इज ट्रूली रेलिवेंट फॉर यू अक्रॉस योर पॉलिसी डिसीजंस, व्हेन यू वर टेकिंग पॉलिसी डिसीजंस, या आपके काम के दौरान ऐसा क्या पार्ट रहा आपकी एजुकेशन का जो आपके साथ रहा, जिसने आपके काम को इन्फ्लुएंस किया?
See, when you study political science or a public policy, we understand, try to study the structure. And I had a very good professor, Professor H.M. Jain, who was head of Department of Political Science in Allahabad, who was also my research guide. He always tells, don't try to understand what is visible. Try to understand why it is.
Okay.
Why parliament is created. 1.4 billion people can't be rule makers. So therefore we have opted for representative system of government. We don't want kings and queens, so we have opted a republican system. We don't want one house to become very powerful, so that checks and balances are there. We have opted for two houses, Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha. So try to understand the why of it, you will understand what they do. But if you try to understand what they do and try to find out why they are doing, then it will look funny. And he told us from very beginning that constitutionalism can make India thrive. Because we are liberating ourselves. हम गुलाम भारत से आज़ाद भारत बन रहे हैं। गुलाम भारत की मानसिकता हमारे अंदर है। गुलाम भारत की ब्यूरोक्रेसी वॉज मेड टू गवर्न द पीपल ऑफ इंडिया। आपने सुना होगा कि IAS से ICS से जब IAS हुआ तो दिस ट्रांजिशन वाज वेरी पेनफुल इवन फॉर ब्यूरोक्रेट।
Correct.
We treated everybody as our subject. They are supposed to follow. They are not supposed to serve.
Correct.
So this mindset change, it requires a lot of time. And then why of government? Why of bureaucracy? That question why remained with me throughout.
A very, very interesting point. Why is very, very important.
Yeah.
Okay, so now coming to your professional and leadership journey. So you have been a district magistrate, then secretary to Government of India. At what point of time did you stop being an efficient administrator and start becoming an institution builder?
You see, calling myself an institution builder would be a very extra large claim, and I don't believe in claiming, because we are part of a larger system. If every part works, the vehicle moves. You cannot say that steering is more important than the tire or anything. So I believe that the constitutional democracy requires every part of government, bureaucracy, to work efficiently.
So to work with synergy.
Work with the synergy and not to become leader of opposition from within. Because you must have seen that bureaucrats keep on crisscrossing. There is a contest between bureaucrats and politicians. In my entire journey of 37, 40 years of government, I never faced any problem. Not that I was lucky enough, but I was lucky enough to get good leaders as our leaders. When I joined as SDO at Devgarh, or then at Jharsuguda, then became ADM in Sambalpur, all these areas, my interface with politicians was limited to level of MLA. And we had good MLAs. We had bad MLAs also. But if you put it correctly, that this is way it is doable. And I also realized one thing at very early, that if you don't mind who takes credit, you can succeed everywhere.
Very, very.
Because bureaucracy wants to inaugurate.
Correct.
Bureaucracy is not supposed to inaugurate by passing the people's representative.
Correct.
But if you work with them, you get credit for doing good thing or bad thing. You also learn from them. But if you only want to take credit without doing, or even in spite of doing, then the contest starts. And in life also, if you want to surrender credit, you can reach much higher.
Surrender credit.
Count your stones, feel the stone. Don't make them at a milestone. You can always cross all the hurdles. But if you face the first stone and start removing it, start the reason why this stone, iski औकात क्या, so then you are solving a wrong problem.
तो आप वही connect कर रहे हैं कि being humble is very important, then being in synergy with the people.
Not humble, I would rather say that know your limits.
Know your limits. Okay.
Because you are not Mr. Robin Hood, that you are here to solve all the problems.
Correct.
Do the first thing first. If you prioritize properly, you will achieve anything. But if you prioritize wrongly, you will fail, because if your direction is okay, speed doesn't matter. If you are moving in a wrong direction with speed, without speed, you will not reach destination.
Exactly.
Bureaucracy also has the same thing. It is not that abstract. If my job is to give 10 houses to the poorest people, I must find out 10 poorest people without any doubt and then give them on the first come, first serve basis. No MP, MLA will ever object to it. But when I start delaying, then it gives scope for corruption. Then somebody else makes money and you get blamed. Then ultimately, भाई bureaucrat तो ऐसे ही होते हैं, आप तो कुछ different नहीं हो. We thought that if you solve today's problem today, you will not have today's problem at least even next day also.
Excellent.
Do the job the way it is supposed to be, you will always be right. If
Do
you
the job the way it is supposed to be, and that's a very very important point. आपने सर MSME में भी काम किया है. So when you pushed for उद्योग आहार and digital formalization, सबसे ज़्यादा hardest trade-off क्या था? Was it speed, scale, or consensus?
In fact, consensus building was the hardest part.
Hardest part.
Because when we were developing Udyog Aadhaar, why not registration of any MSME be at a click of a button? This was the problem statement. When ease of doing business is being discussed at the Government of India level, and Honorable Prime Minister gave this direction that ease of doing business should start with the registration itself. The law was that Government of India will prescribe the form, state government will implement it. We called a meeting of secretaries at the level of my secretary, Sri Madhav Lalji, who was there at that point of time, and Honorable Minister who presided over the department, Dr. Kallaj Mishra, Professor Dr. Sri Kallaj Mishra ji. He said that make it as simple as possible. And there was consensus that it can be as simple as possible. Then by that time, technology of Aadhaar was there. So we got an API of Aadhaar, and at a click of a button, your unit can be registered. Earlier, it used to take 3 months to 3 years. It became a matter of 3 seconds. May not be 3 seconds literally, but it was not more than 10 minutes or 5 minutes. So it is possible. System was ready. You need to push the right button at the right time.
Okay, so what does reform really demand more? Administrative authority or ecosystem trust? इसका आंसर आपने थोड़ा बहुत फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन में दिया है, but still to make it more specific.
Government is built on trust. If people trust you, even your wrong medicine gives a good effect.
Correct.
But if I don't trust you, even your right medicine doesn't give me the click.
Very well said. Yes.
You take a small child, he is suffering from ailment. The moment say that I will give you chocolate and take you to a doctor, the child stops crying. Not that you have cured it. The child trusts you. Same thing is about the government also. Government must be trusted first before we deliver. Where trust is there, even most complicated becomes easy. If trust is not there, even easier things look complicated. In Udyog Aadhaar, we tried to build up trust first. We tested it in different industry associations. We thought that it is doable. And if we remove bureaucracy, give them power to the entrepreneur, they declare voluntary, this is my investment in my capital, this is my location. And then I give all the detail, go for geospatial tagging and have your Aadhaar linkage. Your unit is registered. And based on your economic criteria, you are declared micro, small or medium. And based on your product, you are declared as either a service enterprise or a manufacturing enterprise. So the job is so simple. And we had made it complicated. We said that let's remove the complication. It will always become simple.
So this was done at the MSME central level?
MSME central level. But with the consent of the state, because we are a federal structure. Absolutely. In federalism, the cooperative federalism works when you don't dictate, rather build a consensus. Sure. And that took some time. But then technology was always available at hand.
So what changes when a serving secretary starts shaping the minds of future administrators? Do you become more idealistic or more realistic about governance?
You see, as a bureaucrat or a leader in any institution, as you are also leading a team here, you have to have a combination of what we call it, what is doable, it must be done, because what is doable must be done today. What is desirable, we should aim towards. But what is ideal, we should not lose sight of. Excellent. As a leader, you should not leave the big picture, because you are paid to think for the big picture, not the small picture. A small picture is done by the supporters, by the lower down staff. But you can't say that your role is only one. only daydreaming, मैं तो big picture देख रहा हूँ. Big picture can't solve the problem. That what is desirable will happen tomorrow also, but what is doable must be done today. And if nothing is pending today, you are an ideal administrator.
Yeah.
Because bureaucracy is known for delay, not for delivery. If you don't delay, delivery automatically happens. It may not happen on the same day, but instantly there is an element of speed is added. But if you keep on deliberating, don't deliver. Too much of deliberation also has killed initiatives.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's very powerfully
Yeah.
put. Yeah, we also say that if you have a vision, you can take daily steps or a small step, but every small step should eventually be reaching towards that larger vision.
Yeah.
Obviously, there are daily goals and weekly goals and monthly goals, but eventually that larger vision purpose has to be fulfilled. So, yes, I fully agree to what you said.
Yeah.
So, as a Secretary, Ministry of Parliamentary Affairs, in a politically charged environment, how does the civil service protect institutional dignity without being or without becoming either rigid or invisible?
You see, this glass ceiling view that there is a difference between bureaucracy and politician is not visible at a secretary to the government level.
Oh, okay.
Because as a secretary parliamentary affairs or secretary any department, you are part and parcel of the whole system. You represent the direction of the government, be it parliamentary direction by way of act or laws, or be it cabinet memorandums, or be it interaction with the Honorable Prime Minister and the cabinet ministers and ministers within your department. And there you intend to whether you want to consult parliament for making rule, making laws, then you come to parliament. If you are coming for the parliamentary proceedings, like parliamentary committee looking into the budgetary aspect, because we have followed the British system, the budget is presented and then the budget is examined by a committee, departmental related standing committee. Those committees call the secretaries of the department and concerned heads of department. They present their detailing of the budget. And that's how budget is made friendly to the public representatives. And this is another way of guiding the politicians, that this is the hidden meaning of public policies and are we correct? And some corrections take place at parliamentary level also at times at the departmental related parliamentary committees. And a closer scrutiny also takes place, because within parliament, when parliament sits, you can't do all these detailing. But committees, you get enough chance and time, perhaps also call the relevant people who can explain it so that you can understand and appreciate within the parliament. But then job of secretary is little more than that, because you have to prepare your team also to make all those amendments. And you have to work with other secretaries, because government is one. And with the current administration, I have no doubt in putting it that the current Prime Minister believes in whole of government. He is de-siloizing government, because I need not be the smartest secretary in my department, which is at the risk and cost of another sister ministries. If goal is one, we should play as a team, than being a super fast goalkeeper but not minding who does the other part of it. If you are a team player, you will succeed all the time. If you are a loner, you might succeed once and twice by the luck or by intelligence, but you will not go long way. So in developing the team is the core job of secretaries. And the team development requires interacting with them, passing your valued wisdom, listening to them, course correcting yourself. Because if you think that you know everything, then that is also a sign of decay. It is not a sign of wisdom.
Yeah, I'm very pleased to hear what you are saying.
Yeah.
And I think our audience would also realize that there are words which are not just the words, but they are actually lived in daily life. For example, what you mentioned, cooperation, coordination, and teamwork are very, very important aspects of whichever work you are doing. And like you explained. Yeah. So before we begin the next segment, let us play a quick game.
Good.
I will name a governance idea or a reform trend, and you respond with just one instinct. It could be build it, fix it, break it, or rethink it. और आपके पास 20 seconds रहेंगे to tell why.
I will try.
Okay. So digital ID.
Build it.
Build it. Why?
Because it is becoming the foundational technology for all governance and reform.
Okay. Blockchain in governance?
Try for it. Build.
Rethink it.
Rethink of it.
Okay. Because
it's evolving only.
Okay. AI in file movement.
Not required.
So you will say break it?
Break it down.
Okay. And why you say break it?
Because the thinking of the government should be from the government, not from machine.
Okay.
If you want welfare, welfare should come out of the public policy, not a result of a machine thinking.
Okay. Civil services reform.
You must build it.
Build it.
Yeah. In fact, it should be reimagined now.
Okay.
Because with the advent of AI and new technologies, when centralized system can deliver better, they need to reimagine bureaucracy.
So rethink it.
Rethink.
Predictive welfare. Predictive welfare. So to plan it and then...
In fact, break it. It should be universal. Huh?
Okay.
It should be nearly universal. Because we have seen that selective targeting creates a lot of radhe, radhe, ade, ade. It creates a...
Radhe, radhe, ade, ade.
Anjovi, whatever you have. Okay. I mean, it creates a scope for corruption.
Okay.
So if you go for saturation, everybody is assured of nobody's need to pay, and everybody is assured that I'm getting my entitlement.
Okay. Yeah. Data localization.
Good idea. We should build upon it.
Build upon it. Okay. Okay, so now coming back to the questions, and now we will talk about your e-governance journey.
Yeah.
So, you have seen governance as a field reality. आपने तो काम किया है on the field, and as a training architect as well. Is India facing a technology gap in governance or a capacity gap?
In fact, a bit of both, but more on capacity side, I would like to vote for it. Because if the capacity of bureaucrats don't realize the importance of technology, technology can't do talking. I am a technocrat. I can't say that what I can do unless I give you problem statement that kindly do like this. Then technology will respond.
So technology is an enabler.
Technology is an enabler. Technology was never a problem in governance.
Correct.
The governance itself was the problem. Should we use technology? And if you use technology, anything can be done.
So do we need digital governance laws before we need more digital governance platforms?
But I feel very satisfied that current laws and current ecosystem is good enough.
Is good enough.
Because all those things which has happened in these laws only. Take it Aadhaar, take it GST, take it digital locker, take it DJ Yatra. It did not need a change of law. In any case, all the enabling provisions of the government are already there in some laws. Bureaucrats in India should be appreciated that they have never left any door fully closed. We may not have invented windows, but we have kept enough windows and doors in our public policy where innovation is possible, doable, and people have done it. After all, country of our size is being managed by people and people's representative on election side, and selected bureaucrats like me and my own team of 22 million people across India. We are delivering government in the same ecosystem.
Very well said. Yeah. In governance system, how important are institutional accountability, data ethics, and human oversight, especially as automation increases?
And all the three are equally important. In fact, I would give 1/3 weight to each one of them, because only oversight will make you fearful. So you have to give innovation a chance. Extra oversight will kill initiative.
Yeah.
But without oversight, you will come with all crazy ideas that crazy kiya re. That does not serve the people nor serve the department.
Yeah.
But yes, institutional memory is also important thing, because digital alone will not help.
So accountability and data ethics becomes crucial.
But data ethics, I would rather give a second chance, because if data is curated, it will always be ethical. If purpose of use is ethical, it will always be ethical.
True.
Technology enables it because these are given. Like you send an email, a good email will become a good email, a bad email is bad email.
Right.
Technology does not add value there.
Absolutely.
But if you don't send an email that hamari email mili,
There is a gap.
then it's not air gap, this is a thinking gap. Yeah.
How can public institutions ensure AI is designed for inclusion and not just deployed for compliance? I mean, ये हम security के लिए भी कहते हैं.
In fact, I entirely agree with you that design AI for solving the people's problem. All other issues will be taken care of. We overemphasize ethical AI, but I do believe that let's solve the problem. While solving the problem, if something non-ethical comes, I give an example. You are selecting, let's say, houseless people. within houseless, you want to select people of different color, caste, and creed. Because of previous bias, AI gives a solution that in this region, people are leaving their houses, they should remain houseless. That will be bad logic.
Correct.
Because the people leaving their house may be because of flood, maybe because of tsunami.
Absolutely, because of that.
So technology will not give the right answer. So human face is required. And wherever human intervention will be there, it need to be ethical. And by design, it should be designed in ethical and responsible way. In fact, we are overemphasizing ethical. I believe that inclusion will make it ethical.
Absolutely right. Very well said. So I was very curious on few things, Tripathi ji, and that I will ask. One is, why do good policies still struggle at the last mile? I mean, we see that. Design flow, incentive structure, or administrative culture?
In fact, a bit of all the three, but basically it is design.
Design.
Yeah, because if policy is not designed properly, let's say right to education. You give right to education, but you don't improve the school. Don't improve the teachers and don't train the teachers. Right remains a right only in the paper. So at times design defect is there, but then intent of the government is supposed to be implemented by the bureaucracy in designing the public policy.
That is built in.
So intent of the government is always right, and that is how we should redesign. Wherever need be, we should be courageous enough to admit that this was faultily designed. Like we have recently changed the Narega, and many acts are changed because acts and rules both are changed, and we are supposed to respond to the people's need. We are not a constitution written in stone. We are a most living document in our memory, and our acts and rules are responding to the people's need. And so is public policy.
Correct.
Because rules don't become public policy. Rules are intent. Acts are intent. Intent becomes a public policy when we notify by way of a gazette notification. Then this becomes a scheme, how much benefit, who is eligible, and this and that. Then a scheme needs a proper notification, funding arrangement, funding processes, and many more things are there. Then making the bureaucracy ready for implementing those public policy. So we can't say that which one is good. But if you haven't thought through properly, then we can call it
Design flow is critical.
It's a design defect, not a policy defect.
So at IAPA, you engage with different officers across levels. Should India move from rule-based training to problem-solving training for civil servants, say civil people who are learning civil services or who are getting enrolled for civil services?
In fact, a tectonic shift is happening in the government in making bureaucrats future ready. But before they're future ready, they should be ready for the present.
Correct.
When you are using technologies, if bureaucrats are laggards, they're not appreciating it, making them future ready will take longer time. So this government has created a capacity building commission, asked all the training institutions, 1,800 of them with the government of India, and many more at the state level and many other, because 22 crore bureaucrats need to be trained in what is the requirement.
2.2 crores.
Crore is the total size of Indian bureaucracy.
Oh.
Only 6,000 IAS officers or 7,000 MPs and MLAs are not bureaucracy, are for that purpose public policy. The whole ecosystem need to understand the priority of the state, and only then they can deliver. I give a small example of Swachhata Abhiyan. Swachhata Abhiyan is going on since the last 20-30 years. I mean, everybody needs to be clean, and it's a part of our human habit. But then when Honorable Prime Minister declared from Red Fort that the country needs to deliver a Swachh Bharat to itself on the 150th anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi. The messaging was clear, and then public policy was converted. Bureaucrats were trained, political involvement was there, celebrity endorsement was also helping it. Laws, policies were made simple, and we delivered. I think 12 crore toilets were constructed by the same bureaucracy.
True.
It's not that this bureaucracy learned the tricks of the trade.
Absolutely.
Only thing, policy clarity and design thinking. And today we are, in fact, you have already rightly said that rule-based bureaucracy. Rule-based bureaucracy, like operation successful, but patient is dead. But role-based bureaucracy means you achieve the outcome.
Outcome, correct.
I always say that Durgam ka jagat ke jete is the relevant of public policy. But aur devta chitta na dharai, that is the role of bureaucrat.
Oh, very interesting.
What is missing in public policy, we can't blame Parliament.
Exactly.
It is the imaginative power of bureaucracy that should build and bridge this gap. Only then implementation deficit we can manage. Because India suffers from implementation deficit. Most of the developing societies, they fail not in planning a public policy, but in executing public
policies.
An execution deficit cannot be managed without capacity building a bureaucrat. And IAP and many other institutions, but IAP played a central role, and I must compliment my faculty and the team within DOPT and under the guidance of Honorable Vice President of India and Honorable Minister DOPT. We delivered the training that was designed to make bureaucrats from Karmachari to Bhrashtachari, rather Karmachari to Karmayogi, so that they change their mindset from becoming master to the servant. When Prime Minister said, I am Pradhan Sevak, I can't be moving as a Pradhan.
Absolutely.
I must become a Sevak first and public servant.
Very well said. Very well said. So let's play now again policy or parody. Okay.
Yeah.
We will now move to a brief segment that reflects the complexity of governance. So I will read a few statements, some rooted in policy, other fictional, and आप simply उसको respond करें policy या parody.
Yeah.
Okay. And it is actually a reminder of how nuanced and at times surprising public administration can be. बहुत सारे लोगों के. So first one. Until 2020, businesses in India required multiple labor law registers maintained in physical format. Policy or parody?
Policy.
Policy. True. Before labor code consolidation and digitization reforms, it was a policy.
Yeah.
So another very interesting is Kerala introduced a fat tax on burgers, pizzas and tacos. Policy or a parody?
It was a parody because after GST it has, till GST it was a policy, but after GST it has been.
So it was a policy.
It was a policy.
It was a policy. A 2016 letter.
Yeah.
Sub-assumed under GST.
Yeah.
Okay. India mandates a digital detox day where all government servers shut down once a year.
It's a fallacy. Yeah.
Yes, parody.
It's a parody. Yeah.
Under Indian law, loudspeakers cannot be used between 10 p.m. and 6 a.m. without special permissions.
Yeah, it's a policy.
Policy.
Yeah.
कई लोग policy मानते नहीं हैं तो. All government emails must legally be written in Hindi.
No, it's a parody. Yeah.
Parody.
Any language.
Correct.
We are multilingual society.
True.
We have 22 official language.
True.
How can we prescribe an email in one language? Yeah.
So now we'll move to a segment of technology, AI, and present moment.
Yeah.
And I'll have just one question. While we have discussed this briefly in other parts, but here I'm coming to a very specific point. So today AI and digital governance are advancing rapidly. That's a well-known factor. From your long experience in institutional reforms, will AI make governance more humane through better targeting or more distant through algorithmic decision-making?
You see, I agree partly that it can make government efficient.
Efficient.
Making human requires more understanding of AI. And artificial intelligence, or rise of artificial intelligence, is not the issue. The real problem is decline of real intelligence.
Yeah, very well.
Artificial intelligence is okay because as long as whatever can be done with the machine, let's use it. Why should I use calculator?
Correct.
Why should I do pahara when calculator can do the job?
Exactly.
Why should I do a table again in the paper when Excel can do the job? And a PowerPoint can do the job, or videography, podcast can do the job, the way we are attempting to educate our listeners. But then AI as a transformational technology, it knows more than what it's supposed to know about the government. And it knows more about the behavior of the citizen than it is supposed to know. So both have to be equally careful when you handle an animal like artificial intelligence. But yes, it is evolving, and if it is to become human, it has to understand the nuances of human delivery of development. I was going through an advertisement which said that AI will select you for your interview. AI needs clear answer which can be transcribable. Suppose we are discussing, if it cannot be written in clear sentence, AI will reject both of us.
Absolutely.
But are we worth rejecting? Answer is no.
No.
We know enough to be eligible for the job. And therefore, we are discussing something like that.
True.
Algorithmic denial, people will not accept. If I go to the government and I want to meet my minister and the gatekeeper is AI. It says that you cannot meet today. You can meet in 2027 at 10 a.m. and April 28th. This denial of service, even if it is done by AI,
It will not be
it
acceptable.
will give a bad name to the government. Absolute. So government, while using AI in delivering public services, has to be careful. It has to be designed in a careful fashion, because AI as a tool of information is a good idea. But as a tool of administration and administering service to a diversified people like ours, which are multilingual, multiracial, and multi-level of education, digital and otherwise, AI can at best be a tool, but it needs to be handled by humans.
So basically responsibly handling AI, and obviously to make things better and more easier for people, as well as to be more efficient from the government side or from any organization side from that perspective.
I gave it an example that like middle manager in any institution. It is the middle manager who have to control the reluctant supporting staff at the down below.
Correct.
I has to also manage with the clueless top management.
Absolutely.
At times, I'm not saying all the time in every institution. And it is this gap, this bridging the gap which was earlier by the middle manager, because they they have the memory. This memory part can be transferred to the AI. So AI can be information at click. In fact, AI is rightly called information as a service.
Yeah. It's an evidence-based recommendation through which you can decide better. I mean, if
In fact, it is intelligence on demand.
intelligence on demand. Very well.
Because
said. Yeah.
all of us will know part of the problem.
Absolutely.
AI can know whole of the problem.
Absolutely.
But then what the answer it gives, I always say that AI is never delayed. I mean, AI always gives an answer, but it is seldom right. But yes, they are perfecting so much of investment in going on. I don't think any in known human history, any technology has got so much of public and private investment in its life.
Absolutely.
Even a steam engine did not get,
Yes.
electricity did not get, internet did not get, but AI has got more than $1 trillion on R&D.
Yeah, it is changing the trajectory.
Some call it bubble, but then I do believe that dismissing it as a bubble would be a wrong idea.
Wrong idea.
So because its transformative power is there. Who will know all the literature of the world and then get you access within seconds?
Absolutely.
Who will know the behavior of 8 billion people on the planet Earth, what they like, what they don't like? And who will know that how the sun sets and sun rises, and giving all these knowledge of geography, history and biography, including science and technology, what I called it, STEM and HAS, both are together in your palm top. So you are a Jyotishi as well as a Newton, you are an Einstein as well as a
Power in your hand.
visionary like our Prime Minister. So many more things are possible. And AI is part of our aspirational India also.
Very well said. So now coming to our last segment, and this is your message to Gen Z and young officers. So question is, if the next generation of bureaucrats are listening to you today, or the Gen Z professional, the students, or the Gen Z is listening to you, what must they protect at all costs? And what must they be ready to completely change?
See, Gen Z wants recognition for its individual effort. Suppose in a team I'm a good developer, whatever I do, it must be recognized by the top management.
Yeah.
This is the desire of Gen Z.
Yeah.
But whether that idea is sellable, whether that idea is part of our value system or part of our thinking process, and if I don't give you adequate credit, then you start throwing tantrum that talent is not being recognized. Gen Z also must understand that you are part of a whole system. You are not the system.
The system.
Similarly, Gen X, which is my generation, which is the recipient of this system, they should also understand that being power hungry cannot make you an innovator.
Absolutely.
Because today young boys and girls are joining a company and they want their individual contribution to be recognized by certification, by appreciation. When we joined, we didn't want a weekly certification. We thought that once in a 5 year you will get promotion and then things are settled in life.
Yeah.
We never worked for like a stock market, my value going up, going down.
On daily basis.
Boss has smiled at me, boss did not smile at me. Those things were not very, very big thing for us.
True.
But maybe that is a part of governance. But Gen Z must think responsibly and Gen X must become accommodative. And that's how the society runs. Because सरकार, समाज, बाजार तीनों में टेक्नोलॉजी का असर है. और ये असर इतना गहरा है कि अगर इसको ठीक से नहीं समझेंगे तो समाज भी टूट सकते हैं. Because of Gen Z we have seen revolutions. Because Gen Z is in a hurry. They want to consume everything. There is experience generation. This is not owner's generation. When you and I earn, we wanted to build a house. These people don't want to build a house. They want to live in a spurious, good accommodation. So experience-oriented generation, I have no bad comment to offer, but only thing that you should also consume responsibly.
So patience is the key for us.
Patience is the key and
accountable.
Yeah,
being accountable.
Gandhiji's quotation is very relevant here. Earth is enough for everybody's need, but not enough for even one person's need. Greed.
Absolutely.
And if Gen Z thinks that their greed and being in a hurry will solve all the problem, don't be in a hurry all the time. Be in a hurry in solving people's problem. Don't be in a hurry for recognition and credit.
So धीरे धीरे रे मना धीरे धीरे सब होए. Very nice.
It's the rabbit also loses and the tortoise also wins.
Absolutely. Yeah. So what does meaningful public leadership will mean in next 20 years?
The best quality is empathy, to listen to the people. If you listen, half the problem is done, even psychologically also. And if you listen and try to understand, then the remaining 25% goes. And if you solve and deliver, so listen, understand, solve and deliver. If this the cycle is adopted, no problem under the sun cannot be solved. And people's problem are not very complex. We have made a mayajal of public policies or a mayajal of procedures. If we take up citizen centricity, this mayajal does not look very big problem. We have seen in digital governance, today Aadhaar enabled, and the best example is UPI. We first digitized banks, but that did not give them benefit. We put ATMs, that did not give them benefit. We linked this data to a smart phone. It also did not deliver. But then you needed UPI. UPI Bhim application was done. All the payment gateways were opened, one to one, one to many, many to many. Today, 21 billion transactions are happening in India. Nobody has ever been given a training.
Absolutely.
Whether it is a magic of technology or magic of being extra simple, and I will certainly vote in favor of being simple, because simplicity is adopted faster. Be it fashion, be it life, and be it even technology also. AI will facilitate this, and I think Indians are ready for such a takeoff. This is the age of Bharat. ये भारत की century है, and we should make it Bharat century. Bureaucracy will play a major role, but citizen partnership can make it better. Because a slaving partner cannot give you a good advantage. जहाँ जनता और सरकार साथ साथ चलते हैं, जन भागीदारी के साथ चलते हैं, वहाँ विकास भी होता है, जैसे प्रधानमंत्री जी बोलते हैं, विकास भी विरासत भी. और हम कहते हैं ना कि आज की तारीख में विजन क्या है, एक भारत श्रेष्ठ भारत. श्रेष्ठ भारत. लेकिन एक भारत रहने के लिए विकसित भारत होना चाहिए. श्रेष्ठ भारत होने के लिए गुलामी की मानसिकता से मुक्ति आनी चाहिए,
त्यागनी पड़ेगी.
जो वेस्टर्न है वही मॉडर्न है, ये तोड़ना पड़ेगा. जो भारतीय है, जो हमारे यहाँ चलता है, और जो चलता है वो बनता है, जो बनता है वो बिकता है, तभी जाके हम भारतीयों की समस्या भारतीय समाधान से लगा पाएंगे. हमें ज़रूरत नहीं कि हम वेस्टर्न सोल्यूशन इंडिया में लाएं. बोस्टन की हाउसिंग की प्रॉब्लम और धारावी की हाउसिंग प्रॉब्लम अलग है,
बहुत अलग है.
हमारी परचेजिंग पावर अलग है, हमारी जनता की कैपेसिटी अलग है.
हाँ, हमारे विचार, हमारा पूरा कल्चर ही.
सरकारों की कैपेसिटी अलग है. बिल्कुल. We should not over promise and under deliver, rather we should under promise and over deliver. As we have seen in UPI, we are seeing slowly in Aadhaar, and we will see in many more such attempts.
So empathy and being simple are the two critical elements.
Empathy is in fact, empathy, what we call it, I would put it in Naitik Bharat framework. If it has to be empathetic and moral, then it is legal and doable, even if it with and without technology. But if it is only technologically competent, socially relevant, politically acceptable, and technology deliverable, financially viable, but it is not Naitik Bharat, we are not developing a society which is ready for future, then we might have the same story repeated, operation successful and patient is dead.
Well, that's very well said, sir. And so त्रिपाठी जी, हमने शुरुआत करी थी आपकी कुछ पंक्तियों से, एंड बिफोर वी एंड मैं चाहता हूँ कि आप कुछ पंक्तियों से ही समापन करें.
बस यूं ही वो बनाते गए, हम बनते गए, कभी कुछ और कभी तमाशा. शायद हम तमाशा ना बने, कुछ और बने, ताकि जन कल्याणकारी कार्यक्रमों को हम लागू कर सकें. सर्वमंगल मांगल्य की भावना से सरकार की नीति और नियमों को एक कर्मयोगी की मानसिकता से लागू करें। यही जन कल्याण है और यही सर्वजन हिताय भी है और यही विकसित भारत है। यही सबका साथ है, सबका विकास है और शायद यही सबका प्रयास जो हम लोग यहाँ कर रहे हैं हमारे देश के भारत का भविष्य निर्धारित करेगा 2047 तक।
Very well said, sir. And while we would have continued, but we have reached to the last question, and we had a great session with you. Thank you so much for being the part of the show, and it was just wonderful to host you and talk to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and you have a wonderful team to support. Let me compliment each one of you.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us on the Uneecops Insight Podcast. For me, conversations like these reaffirms that technology may enable governance, but it's the values, leadership, and institutions that make it endure. Until the next episode, this is Sushant Dubey signing off. Thank you.